Crypto pirates, Hexicans, Cryptopians, whiners, criers, complainers, moaners, bitchers. Welcome to your Discord syndicates FN Hangout. I am the captain, your captain, RG3. What is going on here? Why am I so damn big? We've got some stuff messed up here. Hold on. Let me fix this. I don't like that. I don't like that either. What the hell is that? What do we got going on here? All right. Well, we'll just leave it at this for now. Maybe it's something looks different. Something looks different. But anyway, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining me this Friday night. I've been busy working. We've got birthday party here coming up, and I've been working at the house all day, being Mr. Mom and all that crap. So I haven't shaved, nothing. Didn't even get to have a cigar this evening. So a little uptight, but glad to be here with all of you on a Friday night. My boring crypto friends who should be out doing something else. Let's say hello to the chat room. But first, remember, this is your show. Hexicans, anybody in crypto, whatever reason we call it Discord Syndicate. The FN Hangout is Friday nights. You get to come in here and everybody gets to be here. So this is your show. Come on in. I'll throw a link in there. All that good stuff. Frank White, welcome. Kabang, kabang. Early gang. What's up, dude? Welcome. Good to have you. Old Zealand gang. Old Zealand said, invite me to the chat if you got the sack balls to do it. What's that supposed to mean? Invite you to the chat? You're already in the chat. Or do you want to come in here? Wait. Maybe you misunderstand what this show is, or you've never been here before. I don't think you're saying what you're saying. There's nothing but balls here. You want in? Be my guest. Welcome aboard. Permission to board, sir. It will be in the chat room here. So if you'd like to come in, you got something to say. And definitely we got the balls. We always have. For 6 years we've been doing this. Sandy Beach, my lady. Welcome. Welcome. Good to have you. Hope you're good. Best intro in Hexico. Thank you. Milf Tony, what's up? Good to see you. Tam, welcome. Always supporting the show. NJ Dub, what's up with you? PulseX is walking the plank recently, eh? Really? Whatever, bro. Whatever. It's like all crypto's down. Ethereum's been down for fucking years. And you got the balls to come in here and say some stupid shit like that. Shut the fuck up. You fucking whiners, man. I'm really kind of at it up here with all the whiners. The whiners, like, you guys have gotten on my last fucking nerve today. I've had it with you. Everybody bitching, whining, crying, fucking complaining. Like, just go get to work. Just go do your shit. Shut up. All of you. And SJ appears. We've got the producer. She's out in the field hanging out with the fam, so glad to see her in there. No, don't worry, we got the cam thing going on here. I did have some little flashing stuff going on earlier, but it seems to have righted itself. David Gomez, welcome to the stream. We have an OG. Hexy Quinn is in the chat room. Good to see you, Quinn. Good to see you. Hex Logic. ETH is holding up way better, actually. Blah, 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 blah. It fucking runs the alt season, bro. Really? Do we have to like go back to kindergarten education here in crypto? Rising tide raises all ships. Ethereum sparks the bull market. Blah, 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 blah. We don't remember all that shit. Really? Are we going there right now? Shut the fuck up. God damn. It just never stops with you fucking people. The captain has had it up to here. And I'm talking about myself in the third person because some of you motherfuckers have just fucking got on my last goddamn nerve. The crying, the whining. It's just insane. Like you never been through a fucking crypto cycle or something. Good God. And if you haven't, sit back, shut the fuck up and listen. Seriously. It's time for you who haven't been through enough seasons to know what the hell goes on around here to shut up. The noise is just fucking ridiculous. You sound like it's like taking a bunch of kindergartners to college and fucking turning them loose on the professor. Shut the fuck up. Oh my gosh. Well, welcome everybody. As you can tell, I've been a little bit on edge. Just watching people cry and scream and cry. It's like, go work, go do something, go bring fucking somebody in, go out and teach people about DeFi, go out and, touch the grass and turn your computer off. So you don't have to sit there and type stupid shit with fucking licking hot pockets off of your fingertips in your mom's basement. Serious. Just fucking with you, Hex Logic. Come on, man. All right. Lizelle says, "You're the whining idiot, my midget." Come on, bro. Really? The midget? You're going to throw a fucking midget on me? Come on, bro. Come on. I'm whining about you guys. That's all I've ever whined about is you guys. I don't whine about anything else. You know why? Because I want this community to be better. I'm harder on all of you than anything else. I don't bitch about the people coming in here and fudding us or maxis and shit. I really bitch about us more than anything because we're the ones that are supposed to be doing this. Period. End of story. That's who's supposed to be doing it there. Big guy. Why don't you get in here and do it? Or you go out there and do something. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. Go do something instead of sitting in here fucking in the chat room whining. Seriously. Let's see. JFK, what's up, dude? What's up? J-Dub's printing his postcards. JFK, what's up? It says, if you're not on the edge, you're taking up too much space, Captain. Yeah, right? Right. Good to see you, man. Good to have you here. Good to have you. Oh, you remember all the D-Live days? I know. The fucking lemons and the Lamborghinis and all that shit. Watching, wasn't that Tron's thing? Wasn't Justin Sun's deal anyway? But those were good days, man. Those were good days. That's when we were all building, moving, and shaking, and people were donating lemons, and we were cashing that stuff out for new equipment and new cameras and microphones and all that kind of stuff. That was cool. And so this is all community built. You guys built the studio here with everything you guys did. We put it all back into putting it together for you. So anyway, this is your stream. You want to come in, you want to come hang out, you want to come here and state your case and cry about things. Come on in here and cry. Come on in here. I'm much better in person than I am when I'm talking directly at people because it wears on you after a while. When you've worked the whole bear market, when you traveled the world to talk to people about Pulse Chain, PulseX, Hex, and showed up halfway around the world, and there's 15, 20 people show up because you're in a damn bear market. And any place you go to in a bull market is like packed house, like 75 people, 50 people, but in the bear market, everybody's fair weathered and doesn't want to show their faces or whatever it is. When you've done all that and you come back and you're still doing it, you're still trying to make it happen, and you see people out there that are community members, like talking shit about the projects, which have not changed at all. The products, the projects, the decks, the L1, Hex itself, they haven't changed. They're just as good today as they were on day one when it went 10,000x. Same product. It's doing the same thing. Now, did the price change and yield change and all that? Oh yeah, but that's market. Market does that. And Now it's set for humongous price action. So let's just wait and see what Scooter does. Keep doing our thing. Keep building. Keep moving. Keep shaking. And yeah, I know that sometimes it feels like nobody appreciates, because that's how I feel. Especially when, look, the crypto space isn't passing out fucking attaboys for us going out and advocating for DeFi. Maxis, no. Richard's not handing out accolades for us going out and doing anything. And now the community's not. So it'll wear on you. And you wonder when, everybody's going to just put their heads down, shut up, and go do what you need to do to get people into DeFi, to bring people into the ecosystem. It's about new money. It's not about, everything that we did here in the last few years was to steal from each other's back pockets. That's what we did. We, kept building things that were going to make you trickle your money over here, trickle your money over there. And then the person that made that thing was going to end up with some of your money in their pockets. That's how it all worked. And, and now that's all over with. So we don't have that to look forward to anymore, the new shiny thing. So now it's on the merit of the product. And also it's at the mercy of the market. And there's not a damn thing that we can do about that, except for keep coming in here, keep advocating, keep trying to figure out outbound messaging, which is, what's your thing? Who's your people? Where are you outbound messaging to? Look outside in your life. If you're not sitting in your mom's basement eating Hot Pockets and jerking off on a Friday night, look outside into your sphere of influence and see who you're bringing into crypto at the bottom, which you should be, right? If we're this might be that blood in the streets bottom before the move up. So think about that. Are you onboarding? Are you going out into your sphere of influence and getting people in? Or are you sitting back fucking complaining on Twitter and in chat rooms? That's the thing. All right. So let me throw the link one more time in there. One more time. So what did I do this week that made our lives any better or work for us? Well, let me just tell you what I was doing this week. So this week started off, I started going into some spaces. I went into spaces like Bitcoiners and people that I had met in real life events out there in the streets, Bitcoin pizza event I went to, some stuff like that. And I started speaking in those spaces and using my Twitter account of followers to kind of get recognized in there and get my hand on the mic and get a chance to speak. So I was doing that and that works out and got some more followers, got some more people asking about the ecosystem. And it was cool. Did my cigar show, did it in a cigar lounge, talked to people there. So it's been about trying to get out and do outbound messaging to your sphere of influence, people you hang out with. That's what I'm trying to do. That's what I've been doing. And I think that's what we all have to do. If we're not going to bring people into DeFi, what are we doing? Oh, look, Melf Tony just said the U.S. national debt is $37 trillion, right? 100,000 million billion trillion, 37 trillion. That's my number, 37. And it's in the trillions. I joke. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have somebody in the green room, and it's a blast from the past. He shows up every once in a while, every now and again. Ladies and gents, from the old school, out from the basement himself, Genetics. I know you don't eat Hot Pockets, but you are a basement dweller. But it's your own basement.
It's a she shed, sir. It's a she shed.
What's up, brother? Good to see you, man.
Hey, not much, bro. I just was sitting here doing some real estate deals. So rather than sitting on my laurels and whining and complaining on Twitter, I figured, hey, let's actually be productive. So just been doing some real estate deals. And, actually, you see my shirt here, the collective.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. So still talking to a lot of those guys that are doing syndication deals and big in real estate. And we still talk crypto. So we'll be talking about deals, and then we'll turn around and just look at what the Richard Hart products are doing right now. So I think they're actually waiting for some green candles before they FOMO in too.
Of course, when big money comes in, they want to see that that movement. They want to see action, whether and then they don't want to think that they're getting in late either, because that's what's cool is like you've got now Hex has some history. So you can go, hey, look, all-time highs was at 56 cents. We're at a penny. And then they see it go up to 12 cents and be like, oh, shit. See it go up to 3 cents, 5 cents. It's that will start to bring the money around. And I think a lot of people don't realize that Hex is already kind of matured as far as it's cycled through already, and you get to see that action. And I think that's going to help this next cycle as it starts to move.
I think so too. I think the fact that it has a track record. Now we have to see. I think we have for it really to take off for the next cycle. It has to at least hit that last cycle high. I think that's just being real with everyone. Yeah. But I don't think it's unreal for that to happen again.
Not to change the subject, bro, but you knew it was coming, man. You still got them?
I do.
Oh no,
they're probably not as defined as they once were. I hurt my arm, so I hurt my bicep tendon, so I'm not in the gym as much right now. Just trying to heal, just trying to recover.
Oh, okay. So we're not gonna get an ab shot today, huh?
No, you get no ab shot. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I think my days of going shirtless on YouTube are over.
Yeah, no, dude. Especially with the memeing and the AI anymore, it's just it gets way too.
It's already out there. They've all seen it. I'm not showing you guys anything new.
Mel Tony said, "Good to see a lot of the old."
Mel Tony,
thanks for
Mel, Sandy, Exy, Quinn. Gosh, good to see you guys.
Yeah, Quinn's in there. Yeah, it's Andy. We got some others in there. I scared a lot of people off already. It looks like I started blasting on the chat room.
Yeah. I just feel bad for everyone that their life is involved so much with complaining on Twitter. I just decided I just got to step away from that for my mental health. And we're working with a team out of Scottsdale we're pumping real estate, man. I mean, got to have some kind of income to buy more, right? So had to do something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's crypto shouldn't be everything, right? I mean, you gotta touch grass and do all the stuff that I mean, not everybody can be old and retired. But Eddie, talked to you guys a little yesterday at a cigar show. How many crypto wallets should I buy for my staking bag? Bro, the way you worded that means you need to do some research and get some education. So you need to get in there and understand what you need to do. You don't need to get crypto wallets. You need to get an education and learn a little bit more about what's going on here. We got a lot of old episodes, and there's a lot of people that are linked up to all of this that you can hook into. You can get on Twitter and start following folks and start learning about what this is all about.
I'm a big fan of Crypto Coffee's hexpassiveincome.com. If you want to take a pretty inexpensive education course on crypto.
Yeah, and he explains it well, and he does a really good job of putting out supporting videos to help educate you and whatnot. So yeah, go check that out, Crypto Coffee. We've got his links in our stuff too. So go check it out. What else do we got going on in here?
I came in just because the preview of you was STFU, lick your mom's hot pocket. Great comment. Just live. Great comment.
Yeah. So anyway,
I don't advocate anybody do that. Just want to. The views and opinions expressed on Discourse Syndicate are not necessarily the beliefs of the owners or the operators of the network.
yeah, I know. Wait, and there's a link to Coffee's link in the description. Yep, in the description. SJ says we have it in there in the description. So yeah, get in there, Eddie, and check it out, and it will explain a lot about what it is we're doing here. We're about true DeFi, and we want everybody to custody their own crypto. We want everybody to earn yield, to generate passive income off of their own crypto. We don't want any middlemen. And Richard Hart and his ecosystem has been built so that there are no middlemen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you need to understand and learn about, is that you don't want anybody involved in your crypto bags, and you want them secure. So get in there, go educate yourself, and keep watching us, because that's what we talk about here, is just true DeFi. Dude, we haven't talked in a while, and the Genius Act passed.
Mm-hmm. And, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, so bitching that they that we've got a whole government administration laying off of crypto and leaning into crypto. But once again, me, man, always devil's advocate in this stuff. What's the devil in the details, and what's the poisonous pill that's in the bill? And the giving the ability to control these stables to the centralized exchanges and the money, houses and everything else that's out there that's going to be in control of these. Because now I think the last week there was 5 companies that announced that they were making their own stable coins or whatever, maybe even more than that. So in the bill itself, it gives 35 reasons for them to throttle you if they want, turn you off, cut you up, shut you down. And let's just face the facts that this ecosystem hasn't had any decentralized or centralized company, agency, project do it any favors. I mean, so I'm a little concerned about that. But
I think Coffee had a great video on it. I mean, it really just puts the power back in the hands of the banksters who we were trying to get rid of in the first place.
Yep.
And it's not great for projects like Liquid Loans. I hate to say that. And it sucks, because I think they've got a great product. Liquidity proved the concept on Ethereum. I think it's a great product. I think, but I do worry about the implications of interacting with that contract now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just being in DeFi.
Yep.
What if your wallet touches any other stable coin?
Yeah.
What if you swap out from, a stable coin to another stable coin, and, they won't let you trade that stable coin for their stable coin. Yep. It's a tricky situation that's about to unravel here. So that's, what I've always been worried about is once they get control, what are they going to do to us? Are we going to be at the table or on the table? Hey, Joe, send us a DM. We got information for you. So we can hook you up, set you up.
Yep.
Not MCA.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We'll see how this all goes. I mean, my problem with it is when they have control over things like that, they can use any discriminatory reason they want to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're just not one of the good actors because you're interacting with the bad actors and the people we don't deem okay. You can't interact with those protocols without your wallet getting flagged." What also scares me is I think it actually adds to the fear and the possibility that someone doesn't like someone else and they happen to know their crypto wallet. What if they seed it with a small amount of something that's not supposed to be interacted with? You have no choice. You can't block people from sending you stuff.
You can't. There's going to be, there'll be lawsuits over all this for sure.
Oh yeah.
there's going to be lawsuits, because you're like you said, you're not going to be able to stop nefarious actors from polluting wallets if they start doing that kind of stuff. And and it sounds conspiracy theory ish. It's like, oh no, RG, don't worry, it's going to be okay. It's it's blah blah blah. The centralized, they're just going to run the same thing, the same way they've been running. Well, look at what they did with Tornado Cash. Like that's what happened. Like, you touched Tornado Cash, your wallet was tainted.
Yeah, because you utilized your human right of privacy.
Yeah.
And now automatically you must be a nefarious actor. So we got to ban you. Exactly.
So this is going to get tricky. Maybe we won't see anything this cycle. Maybe things will be,
Well, I know it's a parade of imaginary horribles, but at the same time, there's going to be that case that becomes landmark that you hear about, almost guaranteed.
Oh, guarantee. My 11-year-old son just did a 5 with his pocket money. Right.
Heck
on.
yeah.
Pink hole.
that kid's going to be a wealthy 26-year-old. Yeah.
He's going to be good by the time he's 26. On $60 too. That'd be a cool story to follow up on.
Oh yeah. Well, I did that story back on Wake Up Hex, where I took, what was it, 60 cents or something like that worth of Hex at the very beginning. And by the time in 2021, and we weren't even at the top when I put this in, how it had already appreciated enough that 60 cents worth of Hex. I could have afforded, I didn't actually buy one, a Tesla Cybertruck.
Sweet.
Off of 60 cents. Yeah. So I did a video way back in the day. Man, that had to have been early 2021.
Right now.
What's that?
So you might still be able to get one for 60 cents right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you might just have to wait for a cycle, or the end of this cycle or the next. Who knows? But still.
Shoot. Mel Tony says, I feel like now the big money is in our market. They're selling everything to drive all of us out. Seems to be working.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you're wrong, man. The people that have manipulated markets for centuries are now in crypto. Do you guys understand that? Like, people in crypto think they're so fucking smart and they know everything. The real, like, your daddy's home, guys. BlackRock owns your Bitcoin. Daddy's home. Like, you think that they don't know? They invented the tricks and the scams and you guys aren't doing anything new. These people know, and they know what you got, and now they own it and you don't.
Dude, BlackRock alone was able to manipulate $120 trillion real estate market in the United States. You don't think they can handle $120 trillion real estate market in the United States? You don't think they can fuck around with a couple $1 billion worth of low cap coins? I mean, honestly, they shit $1 trillion a year. That $1 trillion is 1/3 of all of the crypto space all added up together. You don't think they can manipulate the price and do what they want with it? I don't doubt that Melv Tony is correct on that. I think Cultivate Crypto talked about it recently, and I think he's right. I think it's a great opportunity for them to FUD everyone else out of their bags, buy back cheap, and then hype it all back up again.
Yep, and keep just bringing retail, because people don't understand that there was timing here, bro. I was reading about something. It was about revolutions and about real world change and what it takes for that to happen. Do you realize that it really only takes 3% of any situation for people to turn a revolution into something that turns everything around? 3%. And guess where crypto was at right when they came in? 3%. 3% of the world was involved in crypto, and they jumped in. Because that's where we were. We were right on the cusp of turning this thing into a revolution. And now they got a hold of it. So it's they institutionalized it at the right time, it seems. I mean, I don't know. I was reading this book about that, and I was like, wow, that's interesting. 3%. And it was talking about,
isn't it like 3% the active population and only 10 or 11% passive that are aware of what's going on to get involved to sway the rest of the masses.
The equation equals up something like it takes 3% to motivate the 10 to 15% to get the conflagration going on or whatever.
Yep. I think I read the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's the network, kind of how the network effect works in revolutions and world change and all that kind of stuff. And it's always been about 3% of the population that flips the whole thing. That's when it, once you get to the 3%, it just starts to boom. It starts to exponentially affect more and more larger and larger sizes of groups. I guess it's like the beginning of the networking effect and how it's to make change. And it's funny that crypto was right there when all of this went down. Regulation, BlackRock coming in, boom, 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 boom. That big cycle the last time. It was almost, that was a lot of retail. A lot of retail came in that last cycle, and retail.
Michael Saylor and some of these ETFs, they made it popular for institutions to come in now. Yeah. Look how many companies are coming in and starting to do the same thing that Michael Saylor did as Bitcoin treasuries for these non-performing publicly traded companies. They're all doing the same thing now. And the crazy thing is, the way he did this is that he took out 0% interest loans in the billions and made them convertible notes. So he doesn't even have to pay it back. He just says, oh, I'll just give you some of my stock in return for you giving me billions of dollars, and we're just going to buy Bitcoin and sit on it.
What a bargain. Like, talk about leverage, right?
Yeah, that was great. I mean, it was smart. You have to give the man credit for that. I think he's in the wrong asset, but hey, I think so I agree with him that I can't remember how long he said, 2035 maybe, Bitcoin will be worth $13 million of Bitcoin. Well, the way institutions are buying up, I don't doubt that. But the gains you can get off of smaller cap coins that are in low billions, like Hex, PulseX, I think they should be really looking at the next thing that could be popping instead of just holding on to old granddaddy Bitcoin. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Take it for what it's worth. Probably nothing.
No, I feel it. Of course. I mean, I'm an advocate for it. I think that would be the right asset. The only thing I worry about with Hex is the supply. Like, the supply is like the first big doggy this season. It's over. Like, it's gobbled. It disappears on both chains. I mean, it's the same product on both chains. I think the Ethereum eHex will go first, of course.
I think if institutions get involved with Hex, it's going to be the eHex first because it's on that network that's been around longer.
Yeah, and if the OA, whoever operates the OA or whatever operates the OA, starts, breaking piñatas and removing those stakes and adjusting the interest rate, keep it down while nobody's looking. And then when everybody starts to look at it, start creeping it back up or whatever.
For marketing purposes.
Popping bonuses. Yeah.
I think you almost have to. I think so the OA is always going to be rewarded for bad actors. There's always going to be bad actors that are ending their stakes early. So the OA is always going to have some supply throughout time. I think at some point the OA is going to be forced, if he really wants adoption, to start to release some of that supply out into the wild for especially institutions to buy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're talking about the one thing we don't want to happen is institutions buying. We don't want them controlling it. We don't want them manipulating it. But you've got an asset that works. Just go it alone.
I don't have a problem with enterprise coming in, bro. Like the insurance companies or like I've always used that example as kind of a base model example. Like
that was my first example with you. That's my first episode with you. I came in and talked about that.
Yeah, like the insurance companies are out there trying to eke out 2-3% every day. There's some poor guy at his computer sweating and having a heart attack and, trying to eke out a few percentage points on the market. Imagine be able to do that immutably on the blockchain, on the regular and put stakes out there, and his job's easy. He stay at home, sits there, watch TV and unstakes his stakes when they're ready to go. I mean, that's how I see crypto being used enterprise wise. Now, when the big money houses come in and start manipulating prices and markets and all that kind of stuff, then we got a whole different story there. but enterprise using it for yield and generating yield like companies do out there on the reg, I think is good.
Yeah, I agree. I'd rather see enterprises using it for, if you're going to have a treasury asset, why not something that trustlessly pays you yield? That's the thing that doesn't get, okay, so your time locking, price go up, appreciate. It's like some of these old granddaddy real estate investors that, it's just all about the price appreciation. Screw that. I want price appreciation plus yield, and that exists. So why would I settle for just one when I could have both?
And exponentially in crypto. We're talking about X's. We're not talking about percentages. We're talking about, and of course, some of our stakes are big payday stakes and all that kind of stuff. But with the penalties alone, even though we're seeing 1.5 hex, per T share right now, I'll guarantee you that with the EESs, you're still getting a decent rate of return. And if you're not in and staked, and any of these things, again, so everybody, me and Kinetics right now are moon talking. We're moon talking. What if grasshoppers had machine guns and birds wouldn't fuck with them no more, right? That's what we're doing here.
Exactly right.
We're playing.
True story.
So we're just playing right now. We're not trying to like, FOMO you everybody into staking or whatnot. But there's a
in
lot.
In fact, please do not stake. I would rather you keep all your hex liquid and don't mess with my yield.
Or emergency end stake. You can always do that.
I always welcome emergency end staking. No, I'm sorry. That is not responsible. I do not condone that. I do not recommend it. That is not responsible.
Say emergency end stake one more time. If you say it 3 times, Johnny Chaos will appear in the green room.
Right? That's exactly right. And then he'll come in and laugh at you and say, "You're stupid. I'll take all the yield."
They'll say, "RG, you better stop it."
I know, right? Eddie Gastelum, I like what he has to say. What are your thoughts on BlackRock asking for regulation on staking? Actually, I see that more of a net positive than a net negative, because if we've got clarification on staking for Ethereum, then the same rule will apply to ETH 2.0 fork pulse chain. So I actually think it's actually a net positive.
But it's also called non-stable coin staking protocols are not securities.
Yes.
So that automatically, with the winning of the SEC case and this, some of the things that we've actually done here, Hex is probably, if it was ever to go to court, rock solid, not a security. Period. End of story. Period. End of story. That's the beautiful thing about all of this. And I'm stoked about that. There were a lot of things that have happened in the past, things that we've done, things that everybody, the things that the SEC did in this last case and with this Genius Act that have really put a stamp on Hex is not a security. Period. So that's beautiful. Let's see. Pink Hole says something else. 2019 was the famous $180 Hex wallet on D2 to ETH, worth getting to 1.7 million Hex, where RH was tweeting it weekly staked for 2 years. 1.65 million return was one of the flex when he's hit 2 cents. Wow, at 2 cents. Isn't that cool?
Heck yeah.
We weren't
Congratulations, brother.
We weren't thinking it was going to hit 2 cents. We
were flabbergasted on New Year's Eve of 2020, 2021 when it hit 1.3 cents, I think it was. We were like, oh my gosh, so soon after the big payday. Like, we did not expect that. We did not see that coming.
And then it just rolled.
I didn't expect 56 cents. I didn't expect the full 10,000 X. I thought a couple thousand X's is good. That's a great return. And then it hit 10,000 and I was like, damn, okay, this thing's real. Someone said it could do what Ethereum did, 10,000X, its first cycle. Sure enough, it did exactly what it said. What someone said it could do. Not any promises, no promises.
No. And then that same dude said, you just don't know how high the price of this thing can go. You just don't know. You don't know how high it can go. And, laughing at 56 cents and saying that. That's interesting. That's interesting. Could be we way under estimated what Hex could do here on this show when we talked about it. And I never wanted to, I mean, we had moon math. We had people come on. We had one guy come in here and said it was going to be $17,000, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We had crazier things than that.
He ended up in a straight jacket in a soft room, literally.
And howling at the hollow moon. Yeah. There was a lot of hollow moon talk back in the days. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh my God. Our flat earthers out there. Well, I shouldn't have said that.
Hey, some of you are great. You flat earthers are great Hexicans, so I don't want to discourage you guys. Your bags are just as good as anyone else's. So,
and Ash has to be the freaking Debbie Downer. He also said that can go, which is pretty low. Pretty low.
Another thing he said is, I want to see expensive Hex everywhere. So that ETH POW Hex, man, I just can't wait, bro. I can't wait for that shit to moonshot. $100 ETH POW Hex, bro.
I'm cleaning up, baby. I'm cleaning up. I go over there and look at it every once in a while. Oh boy. Let's see what is this? Oh wait, we got somebody else in the green room. I didn't hear you pop in, bro. Oh, this one's getting. Let's see, Grandpa Bull, leave us people that think water is always trouble. All right, Grandpa, I'm good, man. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, another blast from the past. Not sure if we're ready for this one, but ladies and gentlemen, the Frost Child
with the rosary beads.
What's up, brother? Are you? I think you're muted, bro. I think you're muted. Hold on, your mic's not working.
Yeah, dude, it's the Matrix. It's coming for you, bro.
Unplug.
Big brother doesn't want you to. Big brother does not want you to talk.
Come on now. No. we got it. We're picking up sign language.
Alexander, let's hope they're only rosary beads.
Just like old times. Here we go. We have to back to the garbage. Right.
I love it. I know.
We haven't even been here 10 minutes, man.
Get a bunch of dudes licking hot pockets in the basement. This is where it devolves to eventually. Just some places quicker than most.
Burning the roof of your mouth. Oh my, look at Dorsey. Dorsey already in here. Oh my, it's my nipple.
It's good to see all you guys. I love seeing all these names in the chat that I haven't seen in a minute. Sorry guys, I had to go live a real life for a little while. I had to step away.
What's up, Dorsey? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, man. There's been a lot of stuff that's gone on. A lot of stuff that's going on. And this is the way it should be. We should be having fun. We should be talking. We should be, talking about ideas and having good things going on versus some of the stuff I'm seeing out there, man. It's like, you guys quit fighting with folks, quit dealing with trolls. Just, people are out there talking shit. Just, ghost them, let them be. It's not productive. It's not productive. Yep. We're not having fun. We're not making the space look any better. We're not honoring what Richard's doing. If you're out there fucking doing stupid shit, don't do stupid shit.
No bullshit token. No, I tried to put fries in a bag and they told me I was underqualified. I hadn't been employed for the last 3 years. So they told me I was no longer employable. So I tried to get the night shift, and maybe even a shift manager position, but nope, wasn't qualified for McDonald's. Sorry.
You know what? I might go try and get me a job as a door greeter. I got afternoons where I can just go hang out.
Dude, I'll tell you what. I applied for some jobs. I thought, I got this in the bag just for fun. Like, I got to find something to do while the kids are in school and the wife's grooming dogs. Like, I got to find something to do. And I'm not employable anymore. I just found that out. So I had to go back to slinging real estate, wholesaling real estate and buying some properties for long-term rentals, and that's about all I'm qualified for, I guess, these days.
Yeah, I couldn't do it either. When I left the last position I was in, I was really disgusted with the workforce. I couldn't believe what I was seeing my industry turn into. It was just I mean, you know what? I ain't even saying. I'm gonna sound like an old man barking at the moon and being pissed off. I ain't gonna do it. I'm not gonna
Get
go
off my lawn.
I'm not gonna go there now. My goddamn lawn, you pesky kids, and take your dog with you.
Yeah. Tell your dog to stop shitting on my lawn. You guys remember The Burbs? That was a great. It's one of my wife's favorite movies.
Get back in here, thoughts. Unfuck yourself and get back in here.
I think he's coming. He had to change his trousers and his browsers.
Trousers and his trousers. Oh man! So now where do we go with all this? What should we chit chat about?
Get off with social media. Go do something productive. Hell, guys, I got a team. I'll start paying you guys to find leads on real estate. Hell, dude, it's crazy. Things have been hella good for us because we buy all of our properties subject to the existing mortgage. So we're buying those old COVID loans with no equity. People got to move, and we're getting a 3.5% mortgage rates on these, and they cash flow, man. So I got investors that are willing to buy them if you guys are willing to find them.
We got you working there, buddy. Got sound now?
Check.
Yeah, we go.
Yeah, there it is.
What's up, man?
I'm going to say this right now. I had to cry, and you guys think I'm joking, right? But when I see these two gentlemen, and they are, make no mistake about it, they're going to joke, but they're actually some of the last remaining true motherfucking gentlemen on the face of this planet. These guys, I'm going to start crying, man. Ken, I've missed you, man. I really missed you a lot, and I'm glad to see you're okay, Ken.
I love you, brother. Yeah,
I love you too. RG3, I love you too. I hear the fucking shit these faggots out here say about these two guys, and you say it like you got a fucking clue, and you say it like you know your asshole from the thing that's fucking coming out your gob. You motherfuckers are half-steppers, and you could never be a portion of what either of these guys are, and they don't just fucking talk it. They show and prove like a motherfucker. Ken stood up next to me before anybody else in this community was, and it's not as if this is a guy or either of these guys, I mean, more so California, obviously, but it's not like either of these guys are used to such an outlier as myself. And people are looking and they're dissing me and they're saying, I don't know how to take this motherfucker. He sounds like he's on point half the time. The other half the time, he scares me. I'm challenged by this motherfucker. I don't accept him. I reject him. These two guys right here, man. These two guys saw.
My guy.
They saw what was in me. They saw what I was trying to say to these bucktooth sister fucking motherfuckers out here, man. These two guys not only put themselves on the line and their reputations on the line to stand next to me and behind me when I was speaking the truth that is here to save you all.
That's a good screenshot
right
right
there. The
there.
truth to save you. And again, you're going to fucking put them up on a tree or a pole or whatever. You guys, stop cutting off your nose to spite your face because you're not It's not going to be gelatin or vanilla. You're going to get bits from different people. It's going to be spicy and confusing and shake you out of your fucking shit. And these two guys knew that. And they said, if we're going to stand here on the precipice of something that's going to challenge something as bloodthirsty as legacy finance, then we better walk it. We better live it all the way. And these two guys ain't no half stepping. When I saw the things that have been going on in my life to come in here on a Friday night, and let me tell you what's really crazy, what's cosmic. Ken, are you looking at me right now? Watch this, motherfucker. I did not do this just now. Captain, you're going to die. I didn't do this on purpose. This was today. I wore this all day for the first time in months. Yo!
741.
You guys know the story behind this? This is a cap-ass retard shirt. It's supposed to say Hex Day what? 731 or
731.
yeah. This is a mistake printing that these two guys like paid for out of pocket. And fucking,
that
I
was
was like, Ken, oh my God, that's like Hexican, like Mad Magazine history
Yeah.
right there. And he's like,
That
"You
is
want
Mad
one?"
Magazine
I was like, "Yeah,
quality
please send
right
me one." He's
there.
like, are you serious?
Bro,
I
that
was
ain't the
like,
worst.
yes.
We had like, you know, $200 bomber jackets that are all logoed with that shit on
Dude,
it.
how weird is it that I put this on today, man? That's like cosmic shit.
Yeah. There it is. There's the bomber. All
And it's an
embroidered.
error. It's a fucking error. Send me the jacket.
I know, right? I probably should.
Hold on.
So yeah, I mean, gosh, the history of the things that have gone on around here, the good stuff, the fun stuff, stuff that actually means stuff, you know, it's that's the things that we should be talking about. That's the things that we should be remembering and bringing up. It's it took
We
all
should NFT those bitches and throw them out there for like next to nothing, just the cost of shipping, and give a physical NFT on those, because I've got probably 250 of those shirts still.
Wow.
Something like that.
You got a bunch of the the shirts that we got stuck at the Suez Canal too, right?
Oh, I've got at least 1,000 of those. I got like 1,000 shirts, bro.
The famous shirts.
I finally got them back. So we had our boy Tim Robinson, if any of you guys remember him back in the day doing the biz show. Anyway, yeah, he's a good friend of mine. He got a banger job, and actually now owns the agency that's doing a lot of musical events and stuff, like big names that he's doing shows for. And so he's like, I gotta get these back to you. And so finally, after him living in Nashville, Tennessee for about a year, he finally was able to get them back to me. So now I finally have them back. All those kayak shirts. That's right, Dorsey. Kayak shirts, bro. The shits were kayaked across the freaking Pacific Ocean.
You know, that was one boat in the Suez Canal that jammed up that whole operation, right?
I know.
That's all it takes.
Oh man, I've been thinking about you. I've been like on a
Oh, really? Were you in the shower when you were doing so? I mean,
let's not talk.
Ew.
I said, ew.
I've been on the.
Yes. Hard no.
I was on my way to the gym. Wu-Tang.
Fucking for everyone. You know, I'll step it up.
It's been like
I just want Hexander to buy one. That's all I want, is one Hexander to buy a BS shirt. That's all I want.
the BS shirts.
VPN.
Dude, it's all comical. All looking back now, it's like, man, those were good old days, and all the fuck ups that happened, they were so fun. We had so much fun with all of it.
Look at this, and this guy right here, like
my boy Monkey.
Dude,
I love that guy.
I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Like they don't make him better than that guy right there. Hex Monkey is the real sauce, man. They don't. You ever get a chance, you get to one of our events and you run into the Monkey, you got yourself a real human being right there. They do not make them better than a Monkey.
They don't make them better than Monkey, man. A couple of times I've been able to be live and in person with Monkey have been some of the best times I've had. And he's just the most genuine person you will ever meet. No agenda, nothing to sell you, just a straight up, I love you, bro. I'm glad you're in the community with me kind of guy.
Yep. I'll tell everybody a little story, a little story about Monkey, just his character. So we were all in Vegas. We were all in Vegas. And for those of you who don't know, Funding Gym Gary was out, and dude got like deathly ill COVID. Like, you know, and Gary's a world traveler. So he's out of his element. He's in
an Airbnb.
In an Airbnb. And of all people, Monkey comes and like stays with him for like 2 weeks and nurses him back to health, feeding him fucking chicken soup and friggin' NyQuil and everything else so that he doesn't die, and like took care of him. And just, that's the kind of dude Monkey is. Just
Yeah, he is.
jumped in.
They don't make him better than that.
Nope. And he likes to have a cigar now. I've turned him on to he is now a cigar smoker and hangs out with us at the lounges wherever we go.
I love it.
My Monkey hanging out at the cigar lounges with us.
I don't smoke, but I love a good stogie on vacation.
Oh, bro.
As long as there's palm trees where I'm smoking, I like smoking.
Dude, I've like gone over the deep end, man.
I'll bet you have. This guy doesn't do anything half-ass. This guy is like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna die doing it.
Well, that's what's been happening. So I was a maybe 4 or 5 stogies a year kind of guy. You know, I'd have a and then one of my
you had that many in one episode.
Well, one
Wednesday night.
He starts. You know, I go into his wedding and he has like these really nice cigars because his brother's a freaking aficionado like nobody's business. I've known these guys forever, and so they bring out these really good cigars. I'm like, oh man, that's delicious. You know, gave me another one. I said, oh, he goes, hey, come by, watch the fights next week. I go over there, have another one. It's like, oh, this is so good. And then before I knew it, I was like, okay, well, I go grab a couple and I have 2 or 3 a week. And then I bought a little humidor and put it on my desk. And then I got like 10 of them in there. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to have this one or this one. And before I knew it, now I got a freaking 6-drawer humidor behind me over here, a desktop humidor. I'm on the cigar bid trying to find the deals, and they're coming in the mail. And I got a mail order, you know, when I'm at the lounges. And oh man!
Did I hear mail order bride? Is that what you said? You got a mail order bride?
No.
Well, okay. Hey, just clarifying. You know, getting old, hard of hearing.
Can't afford the one that I got.
Well, you know, with that backyard setup that you got now, it's a good habit to pick up for that.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's great to go back there and enjoy myself and relax and I'll tell you what, that's what it really has been. The nicotine isn't like I mean, yeah, you get a buzz, but it's not like an addictive thing with a cigar. It's like, you know, with a cigarette or a vape, yeah, it's like you got to hit that thing all the time, or whatever. But with cigars, it's not the same way. But I like that relaxation time, you know, and it's just anyway. Sandy said
that show's been getting some good reviews, man. Like people aren't panning it. Like they're saying it's a good conversation.
What's that?
Burn it all down.
Oh yeah. Burn it all. Yeah. It's a good conversation because it's just like what we have in a lounge. Like you go into a lounge and you just start chatting with people, hitting a cigar, and then before you know it, you're talking about crypto. Before you know it, you know, and it's.
Well, you said Monkey now. Monkey now is like smoking cigars, and he doesn't usually. Okay, I predict you're going to have about 20 or 30 more Hexicans who never smoked a cigar. We're probably going to start at that show.
Monkey's gained like 70 pounds, wears his shirt open, got no undershirt, got the chains, you know, just talking like this, you know.
Where's Tony sandwiches and Paulie milkshakes at? Come on.
Yeah, looks like Ben Mala these days. Look at what you did. You turned him into Ben Mala, bro.
No, it's been fun, and now we've got a group of us wherever we go. You know, it's like what lounge we meet at. It's Crispy and Triplet Dad and
Crispy.
You know, yeah, and Walrus when he's around.
You got good people on the show too, and that's helpful. You got good, smart people on the show.
Yeah, and we try and keep it light crypto so that we're not like we want to draw the cigar crowd in and talk light crypto. Sometimes we get a little heavy on it. You know, Crispy can't help it, and you know, Triple Dad too. Those boys are both on the cutting edge of DeFi. You know, so it's kind of hard to reel it in a little bit. We start getting you know pretty deep into it, but you know, it's what we got to do. We got to outbound message to these people, you know, and start bringing that retail in. And
they're so deep in it, guys. What you don't know is after the show, they grab their Mexican flags, go downtown, and they're like in the middle of the protests. They're like Go home, ICE. By the way, buy some crypto, bro. Buy some crypto. They can't take it from you when they get deported. These guys are so in the middle of the cut. It's crazy. I see you get on videos, bro.
I'm gonna go set up in front of Dodger Stadium over there is what I'm gonna do. So I don't know if you heard Thoth, but I was for the last week I went to the gym and I turned on my Spotify and I grabbed a Wu-Tang Clan. I was like GZA and Raekwon and everything was like going, and I was just I was thinking about, I've been listening to that all week. So, and there he froze again. I got it.
I know, it keeps freezing on us, man. I thought about you today too, Thoughtchild. Is the weirdest thing. So I don't know if you watched Patrick Bet David. He can probably not even hear, but he just did his premiere today with Stott Stalker, and I thought that was freaking beast. Takes me back to the early '90s, back to my Storch. I'm sorry, Scott Storch. Takes me back to the early '90s. He was making beats for Dre and stuff, and I was like, damn. It made me think, because he's from Philadelphia as well, or at least that's where he started working with the Roots, and it made me think of Thoths. That was pretty cool.
He found a technical issue. His network is eating donkey cocks.
Okay. Yeah. You need to feed your router more often so it doesn't go chasing the donkey cocks. That's all I had to say.
Oh man. Oh, look at Quinn. It was a love seeing Thoughtchild show him give the Captain Kinetics flowers. These remind me why I'm a Hexican. Yes, definitely.
I don't even believe the things he said about me. I don't even believe those nice things he said, but it was really sweet of him to say it.
Barking at the moon, so you can't really, you know what I mean? It's
yeah. I'm like, I know that asshole. I look at him in the mirror every day. There's no way he's talking about me.
Right. Oh man. Well,
but it's much love going out to that guy, man. Yeah. The love he's shown us, man. It's been reciprocal, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, it takes all types, and from the beginning, when people told me, don't let that guy on your show, don't let this guy on your show. Oh, not him. Oh, why did you do that? It's like, no, and there he is. He's back. And not even the people that I didn't like did I take off of my show. There were some people I didn't like at all, and they had their own shows here on the channel. And and I didn't take them off because some people listen to them, some people like them, and it takes all of us. What's
it does.
That? What? And you could probably quote it for me, Kinetics. But what's that thing? What you do to the least of us, you do to me, or something like that, right?
Yeah, well, what you do for the least of them, you do for me.
Yeah, so it's like I've always kind of lived by that, because hey, I've been under the bridge, man, and
not that they're implying that I would be classified among the least. I mean, he knows I'm among the greatest.
No. Okay. I agree with that.
Fucking with you.
I'd put you up against anyone with hip hop. In the last 25 years, 30 years, probably the last 35 years.
I had to reckon, I think everybody here, including our audience, maybe especially some of you, you need to reckon with who you are and what you are. Know thyself first. And I see a lot of the most critical faceless trolls.
What's up, T-Bird?
Yeah, you don't know yourself at all. And that's why you're not putting it out in the world. You could be in mom's basement. We don't know. You're awfully critical. Why don't you get out here with us? And that's something these guys did. They knew they weren't professional broadcasters. They knew they didn't have journalism degrees. They knew that they were passionate about some shit and believed in it. And these two guys, I'd put them against anyone as far as belief, passion, and commitment go. And that's a fact. And I wish there was more guys like that out here in the world. Because to me, that's an alpha male right there. So, yeah. Well, y'all criticize from the rafters as much as you want.
You got to stand for something, or you'll fall for anything.
Some people don't stand for nothing. They stand for nothing, but they'll cascade you with their worthless opinion.
And here's the thing about that, bro, is that I'm gonna turn that up on its head, because everyone has value, even these little trolls that don't understand yet.
Oh, sure, they make me stronger like a motherfucker, dude.
They do, and and sometimes they've got to bang their heads up against the wall a long time for them.
And sometimes they have to grow pubic hair. It's understandable.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I don't expect anybody to be able to react to things like I do. I've been around fucking some shit, man.
You and I have seen far too much, my man. Like,
and so I don't, I don't devalue them because they don't understand who I am or where I come from, and I want them to learn. I want to be around and be accepting of them no matter what. And even the people that I get after sometimes in the chat room, I'm like, hey man, but I am here for you.
He's a better man than I
want to learn from you, because that's the thing is I learn from all these people. And in my 30 years in the recovery field, there was a point, about midway through it where I was just done, like going to hotel rooms and watching guys, sticking needles in their arms and then burying them a few weeks later, and then watching a guy get sober for 5 years and then burying him another year later, and then burying this guy and burying that guy's sister and this guy's daughter and this guy's friend and this guy. And I was sick of it, and I just was like done. And I was talking to an older elder statesman in the recovery, and he said, "Look, I know you're upset about all this stuff, and it's bothering you and whatnot, but here's the thing: during all of this and everything that you've seen, you've got to stay sober, and you've got to grow. And yeah, that was their story. That's what happened to them. But look what it did for you, and look what it's done for you." And then I realized that, more and more, if it was a selfish thing to be out there and be in the service of everybody, no matter who they are, because if it wasn't helping them, it was helping you, period, end of story. And that's just how it works. And people would be better to learn that that the people that are out there that are struggling, that are trolling, that are saying stupid shit, yeah, you need to slap them, but you also need to put your arm around them as you're punching them in the stomach and say, hey, stupid, I'm still here for you though. And that's kind of how I feel about everybody out there. And that's what I meant by Thoth. A lot of people have given him a lot of shit for the stuff he does, but the man's an artist. Like I've sat down and listened to some of his ramblings and pulled some of the wisdom and actually had to go and do research on some of the fucking words and the things he was describing and talking about. I've done that, bro. I've like literally like gone down rabbit holes of a few little things that you've said and learned about some really crazy cool history.
You know what, dude? That's fucking, you're going to get me choked up again.
Some of the things that, I've learned from you, like some of the crazy, Mesopotamian history and stuff that I've looked at.
Yeah, the esoterica and the going back to the Babylonian.
Yeah. Some of that stuff. I'm like, this guy is not just rambling. Like there's some he's read some stuff. Like he's an artist and he digs this crap, and it was very interesting. I learned a lot from it, and that's what I'm saying that people should really value other people as is like. I have to say something right now. You've given me an kind of an entryway to say this. Yeah. Those of us who put in the time, okay, there's an unspoken honor or cipher that we kind of live by. Like there's secrets, okay, about Hex and Hexico and the pulse chain and Richard and this and that and the third. And we just like, I've been in green rooms with these guys, and they will not confirm or deny, but they will watch me go through the critical deductive reasoning. I remember one time Ken was looking at me and he was going, him and Identity Block were there and they were going, and I was going, well, if that means this and this means this, then this, and we let people go through it. And sometimes we do possess. I want you all to know, those of us who have been here for a while sometimes possess that item that we see you most need. But guess what? We love you and honor you enough that we're not going to ruin the fucking process for you. Now, I'm going to give you, for instance, and I may get some tomatoes and rotten tomatoes and bananas thrown at me here. And I also might lose the network because God doesn't want me saying this shit. But it was actually a gentleman from down south whose name rhymes with the Star Wars old guy.
that Yoda was buddies with, and he shepherded the Luke Skywalker character around. He was on one of Maddie's streams, and he let the cat the fuck out of the bag without even. I went, oh my God, did he just say that out loud? So I'm going to say it right now. Maybe Hexalina Pulsalot was Richard Hart. Maybe. Okay. But when that character said about me, Thawchild is a misunderstood outlier genius. What? Okay, so you mean that this one with the areola showing, and this one from Legacy, and this one who started up the big sacrifice that hasn't yielded donkey dick schmegma yet, and this one, all these ones are saying, fuck Thawchild. That's great you all think that way. I'd like to see you back it up on almost any forum or realm. But for Hexalina to come through and say, Thawchild is that motherfucker. Pay attention to what he's saying, because if you can't grok it, maybe you should look at ancient cultures that had seers and oracles and sages and shaman and understand him through that lens. Motherfucker. Thank you, Hexalina Pulsalot, whoever they may be. Dumb motherfuckers.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about, is you've got to come at people from their angle. You got to learn their angle. And once you do, you've got a new facet in your life and who you
Not
are.
everybody's going to understand rich dad, poor dad. You need some freaks out here to fucking help get the freaks.
I love the freaks. I love the artists. I love
They
music.
come out at night.
I love it, man. I love it. It's really what changes the world. It is, but it takes all kinds. It takes everything. I don't mean to pop your bubble thoughts, but I don't think it was Richard, because Hexalina actually used to talk to me and was kind to me, and that's not.
Oh, well, Richard. Then I meant LOL.PLS or whatever. But okay.
Hexalina was like my friend, and
it doesn't matter what anyone else says. It doesn't matter what anyone else says about you. Anyway, everyone should really take. Everyone should take because you got people in this community that love you, brother. But the thing that really matters is you get your word out. Use social media to get your word out, and then do the Joe Rogan method. Post and ghost. Don't even read the comments. I probably get the most vilest of shit said about me on social media on a daily basis.
No, they say behind your back more.
Regardless, yeah, probably. I'm not surprised there either, but.
The three of us are like the universally loved Hexicans.
Yeah, right. We're the guys you love to hate, and we're okay with that because someone's got to play that role, right? So might as well be us.
It ain't gonna get you just got to say I'm crazy, and it's just going to unplug me, and I'm going to be incapable of saying another thing in my defense because you called me crazy.
I know, right? The guy sitting in the basement licking his mom's hot pocket. He just called me a bad word. Oh my gosh!
Yay, weirdo!
I wish you wouldn't use that image again.
Hey, someone put it in my head. I'm sorry. Goonies never die, Quinn. That's right. Goonies never die.
Oops.
Oh, it's probably the same pen.
He's still chewing his pen. You're right. Oh my goodness.
It's a bad habit. Yeah, if I'm not chewing gum, I got to be chewing on something. Got an oral fixation.
Something, yeah. I like a good coconut.
Watch your mouth, thoughts.
Oh man, I haven't belly laughed for a while. I'm glad to have you guys in here. I thought it was going to be just me ranting and raving and being.
This is wild. Where did you drag him out of, Captain? Where did you find him? Was he on your
I was sitting here at the computer doing work, and I saw this guy this old captain come on. I'm like, he looks familiar. I swear I've seen that guy before. And he started talking, and it was like a recurring dream, and I was like, oh, I do know that guy. I'm gonna hop on there with him.
Yeah, dude.
And then he says, let me throw the link out there again. And I said, you don't even have to, bro. I got logins to StreamYard. I'm here. Trust me, I'm here.
Yeah, I think he's the one who has the password. If I forget the password, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, I'm the one he calls when he said, hey, him and SJ, hey, what was the password to that again? Oh, let me look that up. Oh, I got it written down in my notebook somewhere.
Oh, I'm horrible. Let's see. Whoa, what do we got going on here? Grandpa polls. It is a bottom signal, I would suppose. T-Bird podcast. And by the way, T-Bird podcast can be seen on YouTube, everybody, and this link is in our So I'm sure we've got his link in there. But he says he hopes that Kinetics finally come back is the bottom.
I hope you're right, because if I'm the top signal, you're all fucked. Sorry.
Yeah, all of us. You ain't lying.
Oh Excuse my language. I've been trying to be better about not having a Captain Sailor mouth, and then I step on his boat, and it's like,
yeah, chaos. Yes.
I call it a pirate ship because I knew it was going to be nothing but dirty, rotten, scallywag pirate ship here, and it always has been. Let's see. Messages coming in. Oh, nope.
You know, I miss some of the people from the old days, man. The people that disappeared on us. Just
do you guys sometimes have that moment of clarity in your regular lives where you'll suddenly remember like 2 or 3 Hexicans from back in the day, and you're like, whatever happened to that person? Like, what?
Yeah.
You know, like, wow.
I don't even remember the name of this guy that he was doing charts. Like,
that was my character, Uncle Larry.
That was you. Okay. It was like 2-3 days into Hex being launched, and I'm climbing around in my attic of the new house that I bought, like trying to fix some, I don't even remember what it was, a bathroom fan or something like that. Listening to his charts and his moon math back then before I ever even got on with Captain for the first time. I wonder what happened to guys like him, man. That was fun. Yes, you are, Quinn.
You
guys are all bad influences.
Definitely are. You are. Gosh. So remember, oh gosh, what was his name? What was the crazy young man's name that kind of lost his marbles?
He used to do phone reviews, and he had like millions of subscribers from destroying phones, and he decided to go Hex.
3 million subscribers on YouTube.
Yep.
And he lost his marbles. Like, he lost it on stream.
What was his name?
Not
Andre. What was it? He's Nordic.
And
he was Andre. No. Was it Adrian Ash?
Adrian.
Okay.
Adrian. It was Adrian. Yep. And he
do you remember how he ghosted us for like the first 3 months? Wouldn't even talk to us.
He acted like we didn't exist. That was the weirdest thing.
We're like, we just want to have you come on and talk about Hex. The same things you're talking about on your channel. Just repeat that same information here. I would just want to hear more.
Adrian Eisen was his name.
Eisen. Yeah.
Adrian Eisen. And he ended up in his neighbor's living room. He woke up in his neighbor's living room at their table, and they didn't know who the hell he was.
Wow. Le Magnifique. I give that a 9.5 out of 10.
So he had to go away for a little while, and that was that. He's the one who predicted a $17,000 Hex.
That's right. It was.
And then who else? We had I talked about this not too long ago. We had a guy that committed murder in LA.
Cookie boys.
He
see, that's not a good look. And this is
he was a jeweler.
He was a jeweler.
Conversation that, like, Hex Mac, Facing Reality, touring,
Hex Mac,
Wales Only, and I, you know, and Alan, visit me. We would have these conversations in retrospect, and we talked about maybe how immature or facile and projecting we were when we thought of a community of token holders as being a like-minded nation. And it's like, you can't stop fucking pedophiles from buying Hex. Okay. So, like, when you're standing next to somebody and you're putting your arm around, hey, you know, whoa, slow your roll, motherfucker. Like, I don't know who this guy is entirely. And we called out. You guys will remember I had episodes, you know, a tribe called Hex or a tribe called Hexico. And we'd talk about all this shit like, hey, man, what are we going to do for our ICBM missile defense system, brah? We're going to have that, you know? And it's like,
how much of our GDP are we spending on our war machine? Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely top signals when you're talking about buying islands and IPA.
Yeah.
Yo, you think? Yeah. And we're going to do a whole series of detente and negotiations with the United States government, and they're going to take us seriously as fuck, man.
And there is no There is no developing a nuclear weapon. You just better make one, because we watch what happens to countries that try and develop.
Just buy them off the Russian black market. I don't know what Iran was
have
thinking.
them.
They've got thousands of them just chilling, like and they're hard up for money with this war against Ukraine. You could have just bought one from Russia, bro.
And once you got one, then it's over. They're not coming at you.
Oh, there you go, believing headlines again.
You just gotta have one. That's it. Then you're on then you're at the table, not on the table. If you don't have one, you're trying to enrich your rating, you're on the table, baby.
Hey, Mel, Tony, I'm all for Hexaco buying Greenland. I hear there's this thing called global climate change, like global warming is going to happen. So maybe it's going to be like the place to be. I don't know.
Might be the new beach lands, right?
Yeah, right.
Wait a minute,
Quinn. I would never live in Hexaco.
Does that mean I can go to the same cafe that Maria goes to? Oh my God.
That's the other thing, Hexaco. Like in the beginning, it sounded like a nice idea. As I look at Hexaco now, I don't know if I want to fucking live.
Like, that motherfucker would have been my neighbor? Hell no. Hard no.
No, I'll be your neighbor, Ken. What are the kids doing today? Uncle Boss is here.
Might be a nice place to visit. I don't know about that.
No, I told you there's no hookers or crack this week. It's only meth and firearms. Send them over.
Quinn, imagine these members being your neighbor. Yep, right? Oh man. Oh boy. Yeah. No, those conversations were serious. I remember one night we were all actually looking at islands. Remember that we were looking at islands? We were cost them out like, hey, this one's only 35 million. This one's only $12 million. This one's got an air
with Franklin. It came from his Hex Dreams channel. Remember that back in the day on Telegram? It's still operating. I think it's Pulse Chain Dreams now, but he had the Hex Dreams channel. And we put all the stuff in there that we wanted when Hex was $10. Yeah.
And what's silly is we'd be looking at islands. We'd have a green room of about 6 guys in it, and 3 of them could have bought it.
I know.
Wow.
That's a crazy thing.
Okay.
And I ain't
sovereign and independent and free.
Like,
and
it was like 3 of them could have put together and bought that $35 million.
I think they could have bought more than that.
Well, yeah. I'm just anyway.
They could have bought the island, put all the infrastructure and a high rise on the place.
Probably got that.
the question is, could they buy off the U.S. military not to strafe the thing with fucking?
That's the other problem we got to deal with. Let's see. A golden yacht party where you need a 555 to access it.
Who were those punks that had Richard on? Gosh, that was early too. And none of them showed their faces. They were giving the whale something. What was it? Whale party or whale? What was the name of that?
Oh,
and they're like, well, fine, we'll bring some people on in there. They got some naive young kid that's like, yeah, I have 555 staked. And they're like, what are you?
That.
Why would you do that? You're a moron. He goes, yeah, well, you guys are going to be sitting here talking shit while I'm on my golden yacht.
Oh, he just smoked him.
You had to go and mention that, didn't you, T-Bird? You had to go and mention that.
T-Bird, I thought we were bros, man. Why would you throw that in my face like that? Why would you throw that in our faces?
So I've got to tell a nostalgic story here, and we've told it before, but I don't know, maybe some of the people here haven't heard it. So when we went out to go do the coffin dance, right?
I'm gonna step out for a little bit.
So we're all hanging out, a bunch of us Hexicans, and the guy across the street is literally trying to build a coffin so that we could have one for the deal, right? And for the video.
One of the best dudes in the world, by the way. Love this guy.
Guy's incredible, and he was in his garage trying to put that thing together all night. Well, we had a bead on a coffin, and so we all had to wake up early in the morning and jump in a truck.
He's like, I don't have time to make this thing. He was doing the real woodwork. He's like, I don't have time to do this thing.
So we got a phone call late in the middle of the night and said, okay, if you guys show up at like 8 o'clock in the morning, we got a casket for you. And so we got up at 8 o'clock in the morning. We jump in the pickup truck and a bunch of us Hexicans go rolling down to the crematorium.
The crematorium.
Crematorium. We pull around the back side of the crematorium down into the
we had to wait.
Pull down basement, and we had to wait. We're waiting for the coffin to come out.
We're like, what are we waiting on?
We were waiting on them to take the body out of the casket.
The body was still in the coffin,
and they put it in the furnace. They brought the coffin back out to us. And we loaded it up and put it in the back of the truck. And I shit you not, it was stained. It was stained.
Still straight smelled like formaldehyde. It was a formaldehyde box, bro.
It was. And so we're driving down the road with this coffin hanging out the back of the truck.
We're like looking at each other in the back seat. Captain and I are looking at each other like, is this real? Do we have a real coffin back here?
And then we take it and put it inside the set, which was a church. Like, you're going to hell too, bro. We're all going to hell for this one.
It was a funeral parlor. Come on, bro. It just had churchy stuff in there.
Oh, you guys all go. You're going with me now. You're going to hell for this one. We set it up, and to go back to another person that oh shit, Toss Child.
What?
Your crotch is in
Stop playing with your flowers, bro.
So this guy Joker, which some of you may or may not remember, who was a kind of a quasi community member, literally gets inside the coffin that a guy just came out of like hours before. And that's the coffin story. Like, he was literally filmed coming in and out of the coffin, and it was, oh my God. Can
you imagine calling a crematorium and be like, hey, you got a coffin over there? Yeah, I got a used one in the back. Let me just take the body out real quick. You guys can have it.
That's a true story. That's a true freaking story. And I ain't proud of it, but it's just real. And
you didn't have a whole lot of trouble putting that trauma behind you, did you?
I've done worse.
Dancing on the goddamn thing the next day. My God.
It was empty when we were dancing on it, okay?
There's other stories I can't tell, but so the thing about it is, like, you look at the video and I go, that's not our most proud moment, when I say that to people when they see the video and they show the video clips, and I go, oh, if you only knew the backstory, the real backstory, even worse than the video, the cringy video itself. But
a cool story is, right after we were done with that, you, me, and Big K went and sat down with the film crew over a nice steak dinner and hashed out how we're going to make a movie for Richard Hart.
That's exactly, what happened right after we filmed that. They sat down and we hashed out how we were going to make the movie. Yep. And then the rest of that's history. So, yeah, that was old Hex history too. Insane. And to think you did that for Freddie's music video. Yeah, I mean, look, again, I gotta say, like, Freddie hasn't been the kindest human being to me, but he's an artist. He's necessary. He's got value and worth too, and hopefully I've taught him things and he's taught me things. And I don't hate or despise or loathe anybody. Again, he hasn't said kind things about me, or Kinetics or anybody else around here, but
definitely not about me. But
it is what it is, and it takes all of us, and we've all done
it. Does take us all, and I don't, whatever. I'm not one to hold a grudge, and we squashed our beef, and we did it like men behind the scenes, and whatever, regardless of what he feels of me, he still says hi on streams and stuff, and that's great. And I still say hi back, and I think he's necessary. I think all of us are a net positive in some regard to this community.
Life's too short. Life's too short, man. And and
maggots, vultures, grubs, things are all necessary, man.
Like
I wasn't saying anything about anybody.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. So let me tell you a little story about Freddie. I fly in to his area where he's at, and guy comes, picks me up, takes me to his house. This guy's got a beautiful family, young baby, beautiful wife, and the guy takes me into his home and puts me up and treats me like royalty, and just gives me the here's a house, the refrigerator's here, whatever you need. That's real. People see like the beef that me and him have had online or whatever, but you don't see that part of it, like the part where Freddie did that and was a really
an amazingly gracious host. He was absolutely 100%.
And he thanked us profusely for coming out and doing it. And I said I'd have had it another way, and thank you for letting us be part of it. It's cool, and and there was that part of it, And I even told him, I said, hey man, look, check this out. Out of respect for your kid that I know takes a bath in your shower, I didn't piss in your shower, just to let you know. So I didn't piss in your shower. I literally told him that, man. I'm like, this guy's got a little kid. I'm going to let him know that, this guy,
and he was thinking, well, he sure as shit jerked off in there then. My God.
Yeah.
I respected that man and his family, and his, the fact that his wife was a gracious host too. And
they're wonderful.
Sweetheart of a gal. And it was a cool experience. And there was a lot of funny stories.
Yeah, with some really cool people.
We had
some fun
times.
I miss Nardo. Nardo was there.
Oh, Nardo.
Oh, Nardo. Nardo, wherever ye are. Love
Talk
you, man.
about that guy was another one that was just, they didn't make him like that. And yes, and he just,
you guys remember when I brought the Crypto Sparbook boys to Philly when Philly wasn't scheduled, and I was raising Cain about that because I was like, that's where the United States is founded. You guys are doing the penultimate United States tour, and they're not stopping in Philly. I was like, no, this will not stand. So I got that whole thing set up. I had a Hexican who owns one of the nicest eateries in a neighborhood that he almost rehabbed on his own back. A guy by the name of Lee Mages. Man, Lee Mages, what up? He had it all lined up and told me what it was going to cost. We were going to get it taken care of. And he tells me, you know what? I'm donating this to you people, man, because he killed it on that wick up to 56 cents. Thanks to me. So that was a dope thing. And Nardo, oh my God, fucking Nardo is the man, dude. He inspired me so hardcore during that thing.
Amazing, dude.
A lot of people then. I met Black Hexican. She was like a powder keg of energy for this community at the time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all them folks.
Yep. Let's see. What do we got going on here?
Ministry of Hex, bro. Ministry of Hex. That guy was an AV genius.
He's the one. So Ministry of Hex, he still has a YouTube channel. He poked back in about a year ago.
Good.
Poked into Twitter. Hey, how's it going? I got to talk to him for a minute. If you see, we've got the timer intro that I made with the rock music and all that, with the one nils that I appreciate for the music. But the other part of it where you see the ship and the whole thing with the Discourse Syndicate, that was done by Ministry.
That was really well done. Yeah.
Yes.
He did that. That was
it's still worthy of using today, as you still do, because it is, the production quality on it is so good.
Yeah,
so well. If you guys have ever edited video and put it together, it is so well done. You know how difficult little things can be to make it look right. And he did such a great job.
The sound of the music and the water crashing on the waves in the beginning, just like he perfectly nails it. He's just the guy is really good. And if you guys remember the Bunga, from Hexo's straight, we did Bunga. If you go to his YouTube channel, Ministry of Hex, he's got all of those videos that he did in there, and just really cool stuff. Yeah.
No, T-Bird, you're gonna see us at the top, bro.
Peace out,
See you at the top.
We'll see you, my man. Everybody go check out T-Bird's podcast.
Heck yeah.
It's about time.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Go check out how down under you can still homestead and live off the grid.
Oh, there is some places still out there in the world that you can do well. Portugal's nice. Portugal is.
He
nice.
must have worked out his network problem. He probably has a stronger network than I have.
Who's that?
T-Bird, because he couldn't really. I invited him to be a guest on stream with me a bunch of times. He could swing it because his internet was so weak. So he must have gotten that worked out. And I say huzzah for him.
He stole one of those Ukraine internet. What is it? Freaking what is it? What does Elon have out there now?
The internet fabricator is what that is.
Saying internet fabricator.
Yeah.
Starlink.
It's a rasterizer.
It's one of those Ukraine Starlinks.
He's got a rasterizer out there.
He got rasterizer. Snuck in there like a good old redneck does and stole himself one of them Starlinks, them Starmabobs.
Yeah.
What happened to Proof of Beard? Oh, so I think Markable had
the fucking
family now. He's out there spreading his seed across.
He responded to me on Telegram last month. So yeah, proof of life.
He's doing good, man. He's doing really good.
Love it.
Another fine young man in our community. Yeah, we got to get.
All those young men like him and Bran, I'm so jealous of that they got on this at like age fucking like 13 or what the fuck ever. My God.
Yeah.
Balliet Bran,
we love you, my man.
We love you, Balliet.
What an awesome story.
He was my first guest on my official first episode, but it has to be said, I did an episode 0 as a tester. And trivia, who was that, huh? Maybe some guy from, I don't know, Finland. He was like something with Finland or
UFO?
Finn Bizzles, Finn Bear, man.
Oh,
Finn Bear
was my first ever.
I love Finn Bear.
He
love that guy.
like this. I love it when he
Love.
talks because it sounds like he has a cloaking device on his voice. It's his natural speaking voice. Ha ha ha.
If you go back to our first episode with Bran literally like jumps in the green room. So I bring him up and he sat there and didn't say a word. The first stream he was on, he just sat there. I was like, it was creeping me out. I'm like, what's this kid doing? He just
smiling, just happy to be there.
Happy to be there with his freaking basketball shorts on his sitting on his
girlfriend's house.
At his girlfriend.
Yeah. He's up at his girlfriend.
His laptop in front of him. I was like, oh geez. Yeah.
And then every time Bran came on after that, Captain would bring everybody down, bring Bran up, be like, hey, Bran, just wanted to spend some one-on-one time with you.
Nice.
Yep. Nice. Dorsey remembers. Dorsey knows.
Vibe, man.
In his muscle tee and his muscle tank.
Yeah.
That young, supple young man, he was.
Supple. Wow.
Supple young man.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, I got some rainbow vibes off of your segment, one-on-one segments with Balliet, but hey, it made him feel special, so good on him.
Whatever it takes, right? Whatever it takes.
That man, he's another one, man. I don't know what those parents did to raise him right, but that's a good dude right there.
Dude, he's one of 4 brothers. And they're like the same person, except they were at 2-year intervals.
Exactly.
He would tell the most interesting stories, about all of that. I even put questions to him about like, where did this interest in crypto come from? Because when I was his age, God almighty, what a jack off. Like, how did he get ahead of the curve, And he said, well, his dad was in computers and brought, out of date for work, but I guess good enough unit to be using around the house. But I learned the ins and outs of it. And when you got older brothers, he's the youngest now. So he had these 3 older brothers and his pop and his mom there. And I guess he just got his head wrapped around this shit a lot earlier than most folks would. And it was cool because he appreciated me asking him personal questions because he was so used to talking about technical analysis and staking and everything that, I guess it was like a breath of fresh air. And that's kind of what I was trying to achieve with Mind Spray at the outset. My thinking was always like, I wanted to do the first Hex variety show. I wanted to be like Johnny Carson or some shit and have segments in the show, you know. But we never quite got there, but I think some of that ethos kind of bled through.
We got to be bringing up old stories. I thought we were bros, man. I thought we were bros.
You're saying $20 is $20.
I ain't gay. $20 is $20.
Oh, gee, we are so glad. Oh my God, thank you, Lord. Ken came on for this purpose, everyone. He had to let us all know he's not gay.
Gay.
But $20 is $20.
$20 is $20.
Oh man, this gives me some 2020, late 2020, early 2021 vibes, man.
Yep. We took $100 for
that. Dorsey calls you nipples still. Oh God.
They paid $100 to see him, so I showed him.
Such positive, accepting vibes.
You get changed in the locker room there a couple times.
Oh, you gotta laugh. You gotta laugh.
Yeah, well, you have two choices. You can laugh or you can cry. Or actually, I guess the third is you can go be a little pussy bitch on Twitter. Those are the three things you could do. But so I choose laugh. I mean, if you can be in a bad mood for no reason, you might as well just learn the best skill possible out there and be in a good mood for no reason.
There you go. I'm never going to live by that, but it sounds fucking good to me, man.
So, I want to read something here real quick. Let's see. No, doggone it. That's not in there anymore.
Dorsey, we don't have to bring up old memories like that. Those are not the old memories we're bringing up tonight, Dorsey. I'm not even going to say it out loud for the camera or bring you up. I'm not even bringing that back up.
Man,
$20 is $20.
Why does the monkey come on? Why doesn't Dorsey come on?
I was, Richard even had a little comment about whiners today. It's funny. That's funny.
Oh, did he? I didn't even see today. I was too busy putting together real estate deals.
So it was funny that somebody contrasted. They kind of called Richard out, to be honest. I guess you can't wait. You can't reply. No, so somebody put up his post about what he said to Vitalik about, God damn it, get the price going, and he kind of said you can't be bitching to the founder about making the price move. So it was kind of a really good contrast. Whiny, slapping the whiners in the face, and they put it right next to it because it says, "Do you hear me crying like a little bitch at Vitalik? Please, Vitalik, please make bad go up. No, because I have basic human dignity and it doesn't work. And being manly is cool." And then down somebody put,
says the guy who Ayami Gucci keeps in a dog cage under the stairs. Okay, whatever.
So he put the one where he was yelling at Vitalik about outbound. I was like, didn't age well, bro.
This community is nothing if not witty and willing to do the homework to shit talk. Go back and find the receipts so they can shit talk.
There you go.
Our community is good at that.
Always find those receipts.
We always got receipts too. You just got to ignore it because there's receipts. Somebody can get you to say anything with all the hours of shit that we've said.
Let me ask you. You guys keep bringing up the C word, and I think about community a lot. It comes up with a lot of my allies, and you'll know that a lot of my people have turned their backs, gotten disgusted, stepped away, or are running shows that are openly criticizing the living F out of Richard, out of Hexico, out of all. And I want to first start this part of the conversation off with maybe this question. Do you guys remember when we would speculate that when Pulse finally came into being in the Big Fork, that this place would change? And it would change noticeably, and it would become less personable, more hostile, more experimental, maybe not in a good way. Do you guys remember having these conversations? Because I do. And I think
Yeah.
our eyes were wide open, but it's not as if the experience of having gone through it provided any less of a shock. Like, it's still been a shock to the system to have this new ethos come through this MRFer and be like, I'm like, ew, like, what are you talking about, man? Like, what are you on, yo? Because I remember being a Hexican, you know,
Yeah.
and like standing for this first principles stuff. And now I feel kind of like a goofball, and it sounds kind of teary and dreamy in retrospect. But I don't know. We were riding a beautiful high there for a minute, guys.
Well,
You know,
here's the thing, is that you know, we were forged in fire. This community was, and it was unlike anything that I've ever seen in crypto. I've never seen a community stronger, more together.
dude, I've never, no, in my life, okay. And I've been a part of hip hop. I've been a part of political movements. I've been parts of all kind of cultures. I never experienced nothing like this in my life.
Yeah, and it was moving in a direction that was, you know, when we made the movie, you know, the passion I had for this community and the things I was saying was because of where we were and where we were going, what I was seeing. You know, I've been involved in, you know, the streets of LA. I've been involved in the Marine Corps. I've been involved in big marketing projects that involve community. Been involved in institutionalization of, you know, so I've seen community.
Capital I on that one. Yeah.
and I've never seen anything quite like this. And in the bull market, it made me think that, man, this is the type of community, the type of movement that can change the world. And that's why I was so passionate about it and continued to do it, because we had something special. And the bear market seems to have thinned that out and seems to have made the hard workers and the tough people tougher.
Yeah.
And harder.
You find out who the sometimes are and the sort ofs and the when memes and the people of convenience. You find out real quick.
You know, it's always like, you know, when shit goes down, you know, that's when you really see everybody's character. When shit goes down, who's hiding, who's running down the street, or who's standing there, you know, in the fire, you know, and that's what we got to see here. We got to see who was, you know, going to stand in the fire and who was going to, you know, turn tail and run. And what I mean by that is, who was going to FUD out? Who was going to talk shit? Who was going to go negative? Who was going to, you know, go against Richard, go against the projects, go against the products? Not necessarily people like Hexo and Kinetics and who else is out there that, you know, people that took hiatuses and breaks and moved on to do some things, you know, for their family. I'm not talking about that stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that went negative. I'm talking about the people that tried to come in here and rape this community, that tried to clout chase off of it, that tried to create all these projects and stuff that they did and rug pulled and, you know, try and rip the community off. I mean, there's some real bad actors that came in this community.
Oh, do you think?
I've been part of it. You know?
Yeah, we got
I'm not gonna name any names tonight, but I know who you are.
It was those people that, you know, really showed who they were. And you know, and everybody else just showed, you know, what they were made of and what they wanted to continue to do.
No matter what happens here, my brothers, we made the way easier for whatever is next. We did. Okay. No matter what happens here, whoever is next, whatever is next, will have a more clear path with less maybe obstacles because of what we did. And I'm here to tell you, I ain't made no money in this motherfucker. You know, like I'm a passion guy who will tell you, I never was here for the Munyon and I never was here for the tech. What I have been here, my purpose, my mandate was to follow an arc of history and occult practice, and art is why the primary reason I'm here. Now, do I need Munyon? Fuck yeah, man. And is technology a part of my life? Fuck yeah, man.
Right up
every
there.
Day. But it was never my primary driver. And I remain because I haven't completed my mandate, y'all. So big up, you know. And Captain, your words are Or dead ball's correct, my man. You know?
Well, I mean, it's just being real. I mean, when you're angry, you're upset, you're fearful, you're coming from a lie. There's a lie in there somewhere. You know, there's a lie. What we started out doing here, the only reason that we're all standing here and doing this is because Hex has backed us up. And I mean that even though it's down, the whole market's down. So we're all in the same spot. You know, we're all in the same spot. Bitcoin didn't have any kind of retail pump. That's all from institutional money coming in and manipulating the system. And we haven't seen retail pump this thing yet. So we're rising tide raises all ship. We're all moving a little bit at a time here. But we haven't seen this thing really bull run yet. And we haven't seen retail come in. So we're all in the same boat right now. And Hex hasn't changed. It's still the same technology. It's still doing the same thing that it's always done. When it was at 56 cents and everybody loved it, it hasn't really changed, you know, other than, of course, now there's the staking rewards are skewed. But if price action changes on that, then that negates, you know, the issue people might see with the
decrease in rewards. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, that decrease in rewards could change at any time. And good God, it looks like, you know, it's just another thing to add to the bottom, right? To shake out weak hands, you know. It's interesting to see, you know, how far down it's gone, and to see how deep it's cut the weak hands into the weak hands. Like literally people who were really pro Hex, pro chain, pro Richard are out there fighting it now. Like, really
it's true.
So it's gone deep. It's cut.
The only problem I ever had with Richard, and I voiced it and I tried to do it as graciously as possible, is, man, I do not like this outrage marketing. But that stage is come and gone, and I've never had another bad thing to say about it.
You know what I got a personal problem with? Moon boots, motherfucker. Moon boots. Come on.
Why? What's wrong with Napoleon Dynamite? Why are you hating Napoleon Dynamite so bad, bro? I don't understand. I don't get the hate.
But I'll tell you what, Richard did those for a reason.
I know he did. I'm not stupid. I know he had a reason for it.
He had 4-inch heels on. He wanted to be towering over everybody. And he's not a short guy, but when Richard's in 4-inch boots, the guy's he's like 6 foot anyway, you know, and when you put another 4 inches on him, it puts him like, you know, way up there. I was like, okay, that's what he's doing here.
He's at least 6'1", maybe 6'2" without the 4-inch boots. So put the guy up at 6'6". Yeah, he's looking down on everybody. That's for sure.
And a big dude too. He's a big dude. Oh, man.
I'll tell you what, guys. If any of you ever got to meet Richard one-on-one in a, you know, just hanging out, just you and him one-on-one in a private setting, there is no more genuine dude than that dude.
Nice.
Like, I know there's a little bit of a persona badass on camera because he's just spitting facts and knowledge, and he's just so confident he knows the things that he's talking about. But when it's just you and him sitting down face to face, like, there's real genuine conversation where when he asks you a question, he literally looks like he wants to genuinely, it's not platitudes. He genuinely wants to know how you're doing. That's true too.
I you know, out of spite, I want to kick Dorsey for the.
Well, you do that for old time's sake.
No, for old time's sake, bro. Let's just fucking time him out for a little bit.
Hey, Dorsey, thanks for invoking the Kiwis, my man. Good job.
Yeah, there he is. There you go, Dorsey.
There he is.
Take that.
I don't know if you had to ban him. You did. You should put him in timeout. You straight banned him, bro.
No, I put him in timeout. I said timeout.
That ain't no timeout, man. You just banned that dude, bro.
Dorsey 78 was banned and their comments were removed.
Dude, you just nuked him. What the fuck?
I've done that a couple of times. We've had to bring it. He's got another account he can come back in.
Yeah, get the alt account out, Dorsey. For old time's sakes, get
It's
dust off.
I hit
Blow
the
the dust off the alt account, bro.
it said put user in timeout. I hit
Oh.
timeout.
KD says it's timed out on his end. I'm only seeing it through the StreamYard. Is StreamYard saying it was banned?
He was banned and his comments were removed.
Oh,
shit. Ladies and
we got here.
boys and girls, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Dorsey. What's up?
Yeah, there's more than one way to skin a cat, motherfucker.
Don't just come in the fucking street.
With my favorite shirt on, by the way.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It fits a bit better this time.
How you doing,
Hey.
brother?
Turn around.
Yeah,
Show everyone the
yeah.
back. Show everyone the fucking
Baby
badass
got
back
back.
of that shirt.
I have to get someone to hold it then. Hang on.
Oh, he's holding
Okay.
his phone.
Hey, daughter.
Hey,
Hey,
daughter.
daughter.
She got
Hey,
a knee.
daughter.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't want
Bring me a Vegemite
Yeah.
sandwich.
Look at those fucking ghost
Bring me a
ship
fucking
pirate
Vegemite
ships right there.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
that's badass.
That's a
Yeah.
good one.
It kind of fits nowadays. I've lost a bit of weight.
I love it, brother. You're looking good.
Looking good,
Yeah,
Dorsey.
thanks, man.
You're still an asshole, but you're looking good.
Someone's got to be an arsehole.
What you been doing? Eating roux out there?
Nah, just plodding along, mate. Just plodding
He's
along.
been harvesting Vegemite.
Old Zealand says ban is the most cooked thing ever.
It's out of love, though. It's all out of love.
It's all out of love. It's all out of love.
Yeah, man. So how you been? You been good? You been good out there and Outback? Well, not.
As some of you know, it's been hard. It's been a hard 9 months. It was 9 months last week since I lost my wife, and it's been hard. Just working hard and keeping a roof.
You and me
over it.
both, brother. That's good to see you. Glad to see you're still just doing your thing, man. Just making it happen out there.
It's all I can do, mate. It's all I can
Yeah.
do. So. I'm still lurking around and seeing what people are doing and disappointed with a lot of people. But hey, we're still here. We're still going, and the Hex's contract's still going. You can't fuck with the code.
Flawless. Not a problem since it launched.
Yep. So yeah, and again, we just the best thing to do so that it doesn't waste our time, our efforts, our energy is to just ghost all those people and move on and continue to work on outbound messaging and breaking into other communities and putting out the olive branch to the rest of crypto. And everybody working their angle. Everybody's got their skill, their angle, their thing, and go out and do it and get better at it. Because to take like a page out of Richard Hart's book, it's about he likes to talk about efficiencies. And there a lot of us are jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing. But we all start to realize that we have some talents or some things that we specialize in, things that we're good at. Like some people are good at math. I'm not good at math. Some people are good at speaking. I'm not good at speaking. Some people are good at, building things. I'm not good at building things. So you got to find out what works for you. I'm still trying to find out what works for me, but you got to go find out what works for you and start focusing on that. And using that to go outbound with, and using that as your message, that as, whether you're a memer or a tweeter or person on X or somebody who can do YouTube videos or TikTok or whatever it is, like there's some people in here.
Did you just say whether you're a tweaker or whether you're on X?
I said a tweeter or an Xer, not a tweaker. But, hey, even tweakers have a place in the world. But
right, man.
Focus on your thing and be efficient. Versus trying to find something new to go and learn and go and do or become, take your angle and go work that because you're already pretty proficient at it. Work that angle and get in there and be efficient at it and cut the learning curve down to become an expert in your field and what you're doing and to get outbound messaging going and break into other communities and break into other, get in front of people that want to hear what you have to say. But be part of the collective here. Be part of, lifting each other up. That's the other thing is edification. We need to edify one another. We need to keep bringing each other up. People that are out there doing the good work, tearing each other down like crabs in a barrel ain't going to help us. You got to go out and do the things that are going to help each other. And I'm not a mathematician, finance whiz like Kinetics, but I can put him in front of people and show people,
And I think we just found out guys, everybody here can testify with me. I think we just found out what the captain's talent is, because he's got a lot more positivity, faith, and glue, I think, than your common man. I mean, I think what I see around here a lot, as you're trying to encourage people to do constructive things vis-a-vis a community, if it still exists. Some of us are so utterly traumatized, okay, by what we've seen, what we've been through, the greed, the madness, the hatred, the injustice, the mad rush, the two-faced, action of some of these lower entities. I mean, we really cooled off on everything you're talking about. And I think we're looking at what the captain is good at. It's why he stuck up for my ass, and said, get off thoughts out. He said, if you don't like his flavor, then don't lick his ass. That's what he said. Exactly.
I think that's exactly what he said. Yeah, somewhere in there is similar.
Well, and that's it. It's the shopping cart approach. Like, you don't go to the grocery store and throw everything in your fucking shopping cart, right? You go to the grocery store and you put stuff in your shopping cart that you need and you want to get, and that's what we have to do here. And but do you flood the grocery store? Do you flood the cart? Do you flood? No. Do you say, oh no, don't go down the fucking cereal aisle. You're an idiot if you go down the cereal aisle. No, you gotta edify. Like, that's the best fucking cereal aisle in town, because there's people who want to go get cereal, right? Even though you may not get it, or that might not be your aisle or whatever. We've got to start being better. Look, the fucking war in crypto is fucking here. Like, it's at our doorstep. The war against DeFi is at our doorstep. Look, they don't.
Hey, man, what do they call it? The Genius Act? I mean, Identity Block was warning everybody about all this legislative action, and you'll have two people watching the stream.
And it came. I went to DC years ago before FTX.
Yeah, the story of how much cryptocurrency can you fit in, say, a hockey bag?
Yeah, and so what we've got now is they're at our doorstep. It's here. The war is here, and we're not ready. We're not ready. Now, we could be, but that means we all got to lock arms and get in lockstep together and
get that shit together.
Start, lifting each other up. And we've got so many talented people out there, and they're fighting with each other. And it's
Monkey brings up a good point, but here's the thing, and I'm sorry, I'm going to call some of you out on it right now. Some of y'all are more concerned with the perception of politeness than you are with the uncomfortable responsibility. Okay, with the uncomfortable responsibility of calling somebody out on what the fuck they have done. And you're going to let these guys come through here that were here and then weren't here. Were here, weren't here. Came through, ripped everybody off, left, came back. And some of y'all go, dickhead's back. I love that dickhead. You guys got to get rid of this idea that you have to be polite. It's too late in the story of our species to be fucking polite all the time. Cram that shit. Be as brave as a motherfucker like me, and don't give a fuck and don't apologize for it. And if you make a mistake, circle back around on that motherfucker. I'm telling you guys, you got to stop being so worried about decorum, propriety, and politeness. They don't matter when your children's lives are at stake.
There's a way to be. You don't have to be nice.
Thank you, X Logic. Fuck
you don't have to be nice,
agent,
but you have to be kind. And sometimes being kind is telling the truth the way it is.
Okay, I'll buy that. But see, I'm not a turn the other cheek motherfucker, and never will be. And if I ever am, bury me now.
I'm not asking you to be, man. No, I wouldn't advocate for that,
brother. And I respect
everyone's got their own way of approaching things. It's just, if you can be kind and you can lay things, facts, and truth out the way that it exists, not in someone else's truth, but the actual truth, people will circle back around and they'll see that.
Be true to yourself by what you're saying. And I'm coming from streets of South Philadelphia, hip hop culture. And I'm saying, if that motherfucker steps, you give him a license. You are giving him your blessing. You're saying, whatever you just did, I love it. You should do it some more. Where I come from, we say, no, I'm going to mark that motherfucker up right now. So he thinks twice, next time he wants to do that. I'm sorry, that's my ethos from my people where I come from. Y'all are different. Thank God you're different. Okay, I love you and I love the way that you're different, but please allow me to be your katana, motherfuckers.
Why do you
Fuck
think
these
I got you
motherfuckers.
around, baby? See, a general knows who his special forces are. A
And
general
I'm not a
knows
general, so
who his
bless
troops
you.
are. A general knows, who his intelligence people are, who his transport are, and that's what we have here. We have a community of people that do all different things. And we need to, use discernment. There needs to be a little bit of leadership out there, example, that kind of stuff. But we need the harshness. We need the edginess. We need the roughness. We need all of that stuff at times because it puts people in place that get out of line. It puts things in place that do not mistake our kindness for weakness. And we need that.
But you acknowledge the different roles, and that's what is up. And that's why I actually told you before, and it's no cap whatsoever, that if we were having to go over the lip, you're one of the few people I would actually follow, my man. Because you allow for this. You say, I have a katana, and I have a kind guy, and I have a tech guy, and I have an actor and an actress, and I have a painter, and I have a guy who's driving trucks around the largest continent on planet Earth. You know where everybody's at, and that's what's up. And everybody, huzzah to RG3, man. We love you for that. We love you for that.
I agree. Been following you since 2020, brother.
Mel Tony, I'm only going to be
actually since late 2019.
Thank you for seeing that I'm a good guy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's how Kinetics came in. My pops passed away, and he came in and
that's a good story.
Helped out. That was how we got introduced, and it's that kind of stuff that builds relationships that you ain't going to be able to break down. You're not going to. That's solid shit. And Dorsey sitting around here and being part of our family.
Dorsey is so necessary, exactly the way he is. Don't ever you change Dorsey, man.
You gotta have the banter. You gotta have the fun.
Yeah, and it's been that, and it makes people want to be part of, because we're not
have to have the people shifting uncomfortably in their chairs because of whatever Dorsey just popped off with. I mean, come on.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I love this. Squatching strategies. I'm going to start dusting every high-profile wallet with questionable stable coins.
Everybody, I know you got a lot of it. Get it out there.
Exclude wallets interacting with those coins and protocols. They are screwed. I like that, dude.
Make sure Michael Saylor's wallets, all of them are filled with PDI.
Michael Saylor, you're getting some shit coins, bro.
Oh,
worse than PDI.
Squatching. But I mean, and it's one thing to kumbaya and talk about this stuff, but there's necessity, and sometimes I go, gosh, are you going to say this again? And I'm going to say it again. It's we have to come together to fight this new war that's coming, and we have to be loud, and we have to show them what real DeFi is. When we showed up at Richard Hart's SEC hearing, the one that he didn't show up to, where 75 Hexicans showed up to, filled up the courtroom and then filled up the overflow room, that was a message to the SEC, to the judge, to Richard's lawyers, to Richard, who and what this community is all about. How many people have showed up at court cases for all those other guys that ended up in orange jumpsuits? I didn't see anybody over there in those court cases filling up, the rooms. So just how this community can come together and do things, and change the name of what they're trying to call us. They're trying to call DeFi the money laundering, drug dealing, terrorist, what do you call it?
Right. And how did they all transact before we were here? Oh yeah, legacy, fiat.
Yeah, and
they still do. They still do it through cash.
But have been caught doing it.
Yeah. What was the big one in Deutsche Bank? Got caught almost $1 trillion over 20 years through cartel money.
We had an ocean freighter in Philadelphia at the docks that they took apart that was full of cocaine. It was owned by JP Morgan.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
Well, hey guys, I love you all, but I got a beautiful sweetheart of a 4-year-old that wants me to read her a story and put her to bed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I'm out of here.
I'm ready to call it too. Kinetics, thanks for coming. Thos, Dorsey, always a pleasure to have you. And everybody, have a good
Love
one.
being on screen with all you gents.
Thanks for showing up Monday morning.
Yeah,
We are going to be bringing a new show. SJ and I are going to be doing what's called the Current Wave. It's going to be a news program with about 30 minutes of DeFi news. We're going to get real serious about
Love
DeFi.
it.
Put the news of the day.
Can I say my pseudo haiku real quick that I came up with back in the day that
You most
Hexicans, Hexicans rock yields, lock shields, and fight together in mad shade.
Right on, right on. All right, everybody. Dorsey, thanks for coming, bro.
Sandy.
I hope you didn't ban your account. I think we just skipped you, right? Yeah. You're back in.
Sandy.
Everybody, thanks for coming. See you Monday. Next Thursday, burn it all. We're smoking cigars. And then, of course,